Hi everyone, welcome to Scarlet Reviews. Today I will be reviewing the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup, which Estee Lauder claims to be the world's #1 selling foundation. I've had this foundation for a while and I have it on right now. I thought I would make a video about it to share what I think about this foundation. First off, let's talk about the packaging. This foundation comes in a frosted glass bottle with this plastic cap. I think it looks really sleek and elegant. It's also really compact, so it fits easily in your makeup bag and it's easy to take with you when you travel without worrying about any spillage. Unfortunately, this foundation does not come with a pump, and I did not know this earlier. I'm just going to show this to you. This is the standard packaging that I got it in. This foundation currently retails at 235 Malaysian ringgit, but the pump alone costs 80 Malaysian ringgit, which is about a third of the cost of this foundation. As such, I decided not to get the pump, and I usually just pour the product out of the bottle straight onto the back of my hand and replace the cap right after to prevent the product from drying out. I love that Estee Lauder made this foundation in an extensive range of shades and also coded them based on skin undertones. Currently in Malaysia, this foundation is available in over 40 shades from light to extra deep for warm, neutral, and cool skin undertones. If it's your first time trying this foundation, I would highly recommend that you try it in-store so you get the best possible match for you. What I have here is in the shade 1C1, Cool Bone. The letter in the center indicates the undertone of the foundation. This one has a C, so it's a cool tone foundation. If it's an N, it's a neutral, and if it's a W, it's warm. Now moving on to the formula, this product has a low SPF of 10, which makes it really suitable for flash photography and also video and photo projects under harsh lighting, because it does not leave any noticeable white cast. If you're going for a foundation that contains either zinc oxide or titanium dioxide like this one, and would like to avoid that white cast when you take photos, it is best to keep the SPF as low as possible. If you need that extra sun protection, you can always wear a chemical sunscreen that is compatible with makeup. The Double Wear foundation has a liquid consistency that's not too thick or too runny. Before filming this video, I cleansed my skin, used my toner, a hyaluronic acid serum, hydrating sheet mask, moisturizer, sunblock, and also applied a silicone-based pore erasing primer as part of my skin prep. The reason for this extensive routine is that I find this foundation to be on the drier side, and ensuring that my skin is properly hydrated and plumps beforehand makes a huge difference to how this foundation looks on my skin. Also, I find a pore primer necessary when I work with this foundation, as it has the tendency of making my skin texture more noticeable. My favorite method of applying this foundation is with a damp beauty blender. I love using beauty blenders compared to foundation brushes or my fingers because I feel that it gives me much more control and a more seamless finish. This foundation is water-based, so it goes best with a water-based skincare routine. We can see that with the first layer of application, this product only gives me medium coverage because you can still see redness, veins, and blemishes showing through. So I'm going to layer on a bit more foundation on my cheeks. This foundation is buildable, so you can layer on more product for better coverage. Now I'd say that I have a medium to full coverage and it still feels comfortable and lightweight on my skin. You can still see some redness on my cheeks, but as I'm not doing a professional photo shoot, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. I think this is an okay coverage to have for day makeup. Usually I would use this foundation with concealers and color correctors if I'm going for full coverage, but for today's video, it's just gonna be foundation and setting powder. I find that this foundation dries pretty quickly and gives a very natural finish that is not overly matte on its own. You can choose to skip setting powder with this foundation, but I feel that setting powder helps with oil control if you have oily combination skin like me and keeps the makeup looking matte for longer. If you're going to use setting powder, do make sure your foundation is completely dry first so you don't get a patchy application. You can see that my face is looking a bit pale and powdery here after the setting powder. So what I do to fix this is I use some setting spray to melt the powder into the foundation and make everything look more natural and seamless. This is how my makeup looked at the end of the day. As I have oily combination skin, you can see some shine on my face, especially my T-zone, even though I've dusted my entire face with setting powder. You can see here that although there's quite a bit of oil on my face and I'm trying to smudge it with my finger, this foundation is still looking flawless on my skin. With this foundation, you can easily blot your face by tapping lightly with a dry tissue or oil control film to remove any shine without worrying about the foundation being messed up. You can also use some powder for touch-ups if you think you need it after blotting. However, this foundation does wear off when I rub it from side to side, so it's not entirely mask-proof or transfer-proof. Although this product is marketed as a 24-hour wear foundation, I've never worn it for a full 24 hours. But I've worn this foundation for pageants and outdoor modeling assignments, and I swear by it because of how super stay it is, even in the hot and humid climate that I live in and my oily combination skin. I also find that this foundation doesn't crease or crack at my smile lines, unlike a lot of other matte foundations that I've tried. And you can see the close-up here. This is after many hours of wear and it's still looking flawless. With all that said, you might be wondering, are there any downsides to this foundation? In my opinion, yes, there are. Firstly, this foundation does come in at a pretty high price point if you're comparing it to drugstore foundation. So far, I have not come across any matte drugstore foundations that come close to this product in terms of performance. Also, if you're someone with dry or mature skin, you might find this foundation too dry for you. Even as someone with oily skin, I do have to properly hydrate my skin with skincare before using this foundation because of how dry the formula is. I find that when I don't use hydrating mask before using this foundation, the application doesn't go on as smoothly. It does look a bit patchy and sometimes cakey. I also find that this foundation makes my skin texture a lot more noticeable, so I always pair it with a pore primer to reduce the appearance of skin texture before putting it on. What you see here is after I've used a pore primer. Last but not least, as this foundation is a water-based and oil-free formula, I find that it doesn't work well with face oils or other products such as serums and moisturizers that have significant oil content. So if you find that this product is not adhering well to your skin, you might want to look through your skincare regimen and swap out some of those products. With that said, this foundation from Estee Lauder still makes the list as one of my favorite foundations. I think it's worth the splurge because it stays on flawlessly if you apply it right, and it doesn't have any white cast, making it suitable for any occasion. It's really super stay even on oily skin and in hot and humid climates. That wraps up this review. Do share this in the comment section below if you've tried this foundation for yourself and what your thoughts are about this product. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification icon for updates when I post future beauty content. Till next time, do take care and stay beautiful.